So these are the two tables in our database that we have created last time. And so now here are the 10 queries that you can see on your left side, which we will be implementing in this tutorial. With every query, you will be able to learn a new command for MySql and decipher what that command does. So it's going to be a pretty great tutorial. So let's start. So our first query says alter emp table to add one more column, Aadhaar number. So let's do that right now. So for altering the table, you have to use alter command, then table, and specify which table you want to alter. And if you want to add a column, so add column Aadhaar number int. And let's give that int a size of 12 as the size of Aadhaar number is, and press enter. So 0 rows affected. And now let's see whether our column is there in the table. So select star from emp, and you can see the Aadhaar number, the column is over there. So, and the values are null as we have specified no default value for it. The value is null. So our first query is executed. Now let's go to our second query. The second query says alter emp table to change data type of Aadhaar card from integer to varchar. So this is basically a query where we are modifying an existing column. So in place of add, we write modify column Aadhaar number, and let's change this into varchar. And okay, so it is done. Two rows affected. Now if you want to see whether the data type of Aadhaar number is actually varchar and not int, then you have to write desc, which stands for describe emp. And now you can go over here and check that out, that the data type of Aadhaar number is actually varchar. So query number 2 is successful. Now the third query is drop Aadhaar card column. So when you need to drop column, you have to use the same thing again, alter table, and just remove its data type. So when you're dropping, you don't need to specify what data type you have to give, and then alter table emp drop. So you replace the word with drop, and so it is, the table has been dropped. Now we will again see describe emp, and here you can see there is no Aadhaar number column in the table. So our third query has also been done. Now the fourth one is truncate department table. Now let's first see what the contents of department table are. So select star from department. Now my friends, what truncate does is it clears all the entries in the department table. So it keeps the table but deletes all the things that are in the table. So there are 4 entries in the table, and if we use truncate, it is going to delete all those 4 tables. So let's fire the command truncate table dept, and the command is executed. Now let's see, select star from dept, empty set, so there is nothing in the table. The table is there, but there is nothing in the table. Now the query 5 is drop department table. Now in our previous query we have truncated it, and here we are dropping it. So this is pretty simple. So we have to write drop table dept, and the table is gone. So now if you fire the command of show tables, there is only one table, and that is emp. So our fifth query has also been done. The sixth one right here is create department table with department number as auto increment. Okay, so now they are asking us to create a department table back again. So create table department with department number integer. It is our primary key, and we are also using auto increment feature over here. So what auto increment does is, with every value you insert, it auto increments it by 1. So if you give the first value as 1, then the next value will be automatically as 2. So you do not need to insert that value for the remaining entries which you are going to make in succession. So this is the first thing. Now dname, which is varchar. So let's do this stuff real fast. And the location loc, which is also varchar. care. I hope I'm not messing up some spellings out there. Mm, okay, let me check it once. Create table department number int primary key auto increment d name varchar. I think it's fine. Okay, so query is affected. Now, if we do show tables, yeah, we have there. Our DEPT table is there. And if you want to describe the table, then there you can see the key, primary key is there, and then extra feature or extra attribute we have attributed to department number column is auto increment. So we are done with the sixth query. Now the seventh query is alter employee table to add department number as foreign key. So one thing which you need to remember is that if you're referencing a column as a foreign key of another table, that is a link between the two tables, then you must know that there has to be entries in department. For example, if the entries in department is 10, 20, 30, and 40, then you cannot have an entry in EMP table which says as department number 50. So the value which is referenced, in this case we are referencing the department number from EMP table to department number of DEPT table. So the value which is referenced must be there in the table you are referencing it to. And right now, our department table is empty. So we cannot add an foreign key to EMP table. We need to have some data in it. So to just tell you that and just to demonstrate it, we will fire the query and then we will see the error. So the query is error alter table emp add foreign key, then the column name of the table references to the table which is DEPT and the column of DEPT which is department number. And the error is cannot add or update a child. A foreign key constraint fails. And now we will add some entries in DEPT table which will have 20 and 30, and then we can finally reference EMP to DEPT table. So that was the catch here in query number 7. So you already need to have some values in there. So let's insert it pretty fast. Insert into DEPT values, and let's do 20. Let's name this as A for now, and the city and Y. Okay, done with this. Now let's do 30, department B, and city Mumbai. Done with this too. Let's add one more thing over here. So now let's add 20, 30, 40, department C, and the city is London. Okay, so now we have added 20, 30, and 40. So 20 and 30, which are there in the EMP table, are also there in the DEPT table. So now the query for adding a foreign key should be successful. Now let's add this query. Okay, 2 rows are affected. So I hope you understood what I wanted to convey you in this. So if you are adding a record in a table which is a child table, the record must be there in the parent table, then and only then you can add there. Okay, so we are done with our seventh query. Now the eighth one, create index on salary. Now what indexes does are that it helps in sorting really fast. So it applies a sorting algorithm, and then you can sort things really fast on that particular column where you are applying your index. But a disadvantage of index is it uses some complex data structures, and the complexity of the database overall increases. So you keep your indices only when they are necessary. So create an index on salary. So in the department table, we have a column salary. So on salary, we have to create our index. So let's create index, the index name, which I will give as IDX1 on EMP, the table, and the column name. So this is it. Table index has been successfully assigned to SAL. Now let's see whether DESC shows us the data about indices. So describe emp. And does it store some data about indices? Yeah, it does. So the key over here is mul, which basically signifies that there is something, an index or a foreign key or something over there. And at the department number, our foreign key has also been attributed. So we are done with our inquiry. Now the ninth one is creating view for employees who belongs to department number 20. Now view is something which is a snapshot of a table, you can say a snapshot of what you want to display to the user maybe. And if you want to apply some data abstraction or data hiding, you can use view over there. So to create a view, you can use create view. I will name the view as v1 on, not on, I'm sorry. Here you have to write as, and then you have to write the select query which you want to apply. So we require the employees who belongs to department 20. So let's write select star from emp where department number equal to 20, and now the view is created. Now to see whether our view is working, we will write select star from v1, and now there only one entry is there, which is of Smith, and his department number is 20. The entry which was of Allen of department number 30 is not there. So this is basically a view. A view is not a table. Please remember that a view is not a table. Just the query of it is stored in the database. Whenever we invoke the view by saying select command, the query is run and we get the snapshot from the tables from which the view is made. And one more thing which I would like to tell about view is that any changes that you do on view is directly reflected into your tables. So you have to be careful while changing anything from your views. Okay, so that was it about views. I think made it pretty clear what views are for and how do we make views. And now the last here is list the name of employees who are not eligible for commission. So I actually don't know why this question is there, and they have not actually mentioned on what basis the commission is. So for now, let's say commissions are given not to clerks but salesmen. So if the person is a salesman, then we will give him a commission. So for that we will write select star from emp where now we have to specify the job equals to salesman, and there it is, Alan. So the person who has a commission is a person from sales, is a salesman, and his name is Alan. So this is the execution of the 10 queries. In the next tutorial we will be using the same database that we have made right now. Probably we would be adding some more entries to the tables to make them a little bigger, and so that we get a better idea of it. And in the next tutorial we would be executing some more advanced queries. So this was it, guys, for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I did enjoy it a lot. This was amazing MySql tutorial. Thank you. Subscribe, share, and like. Bye.